Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over trail cams because we had another cat go missing. So we've been trying to observe the environment around us and try and figure out what type of predator that we're dealing with that would take a cat. This is our head honcho here. He went missing for a few days, but he came back. He tends to do that every now and then when he goes on a hunting trip. But
we told him if he bring Patches back, and his name is Gar, and he of course say no because Patches will probably not he's probably not listening.
Yeah, so.
But Patches loves to go hunt, so she's just hunting around our property, and we don't know if she is getting hunted or she is finding her way back home, and that's his favorite cat.
Yeah.
My dad's favorite cat. Patches, come here, baby. Come here, Patches. Come here. Come here. Come here, Patches. Come here, honey.
So we came inside because it was too windy outside and you weren't going to hear anything we said. Anyway, with trail cams, the first thing that we do is we go out and we try and find and identify areas where wildlife has been. In this particular case, we weren't necessarily looking for deer. Deer are everywhere. But what we were looking for were either recent scats or footprints of potential predators. What we found before we put these out were we found some prints that were most likely some coyote prints that were in fairly close to the house. We also found some prints that could have been a feline predator like a small bobcat. We identified where those were, and then we tried to place our cameras in areas that would cross paths with where the animal paths were. So we have to figure out where we can place these cameras and get the best viewpoints on that little meadow to figure out what kind of predator we're dealing with.
I want to deal with, I hope a fox doesn't come up.
Fox?
Yeah.
Well, it could be a fox, but it's most likely a coyote or a bobcat.
Okay, so I hope we get a bobcat on there.
So we need to keep in mind that these cameras need to be able to capture some areas that are very well covered because they don't like coming out to the open.
What are these little dots for?
That is the camera. This creates the night vision.
Light.
And this is the motion sensor. So we've programmed each of these, and then
That's upside down.
well, no, I think it goes like that. So the motion sensor part triggers the camera to turn on, and then this allows us to have night vision. Now, if you look down in the ground here, do you see those footprints? Step over here. What do you think this print right here is?
That is a deer.
Yep. But
That's the same deer. It just got smaller footprints because it just went like on its.
yeah. What do you think that footprint is? That footprint.
Well, that should be a chicken because it looks like a circle and three things right there.
That's not a chicken. Look like paws, and then they have narrow claws. That would indicate that a coyote has been coming through here. The interesting thing about deer and some of the animals out there is they tend to frequent spots on a regular basis. So when they're used to a pattern, they are used to the safety of that environment, they'll continue to come through in the same spots over and over again. But this looks like it's a pretty high traffic little area right here, huh?
Yeah, so we should put a camera.
Maybe right on that piece of wood over there. Get rid of these weeds. They're gonna block our view. But it would appear that there's some animals that like to frequent this spot here.
What do you think that footprint?
We want to put the cameras where we see footprints. I'm not worried about the deer. The deer aren't what we're after, but the coyote and yeah, those are interesting footprints to me. So Benjamin, this down here is where we've been clearing our brush. That could be a great little hiding spot for a bobcat or a coyote during the daytime, which might be why we're getting a lot of footprints in this area, because if we just look this way,
I don't see any footprints going down.
There's footprints right up top here though. Here's some more.
I can see one right here. It looks like there's a big one. Like two big ones.
But I can't see claw marks, so I'm not sure if those are bobcat or coyote.
That's a coyote. It looks like that's a coyote. Ooh, those are coyotes.
No, I don't see the claws prominent in those. Bobcats and coyotes are a little harder to capture on camera because they are less frequent, number one, and number two, they're very good at hiding, and they're very tactful, and when you put out a camera and you leave that human scent in the area, they often won't return for several days.
Because it looks like that's a...
Well, if the claws stick out, that's a prominent coyote footprint, but if the claws don't stick out, see, you could see the fingers on this one but no claws?
That's a bobcat.
It could be. It's too hard to tell because the ground has been too dried out.
It's dead right there.
Yeah.
Because it's a bobcat.
But that could be a potential den situation right there. We cut down all those trees, but we didn't burn them because they were still too green. We had to wait till the fall. So we've got a very dangerous little habitat down there, which we're gonna have to spray and kill all that off and then probably go ahead and burn it.
Why don't you put the camera right there?
Well, maybe we should put another camera on that side of the stump facing this way, or I think maybe if we go down into that meadow over there, we could get a good camera shot. Maybe if we go and look around this pile a little more, we'll find something. Follow Daddy, because there's a lot of poison ivy here. This is a very deep pile of wood.
Ow, you're stepping on my foot.
Coming back up. But there could be a bobcat in there. We wouldn't even notice it because they're so good at camouflaging. But there's a lot of pathways going into here. So
there should be where we could put our cameras.
Yeah, I think we want to capture this meadow back here somehow. So there's a lot of potential. I've seen coyotes right along this ridge here, so we'll but we don't know if we're going after a coyote or a bobcat, because then we've got that opening in the woods right there, and there are trails that go back into the woods, and there's about 60 acres of hardwoods that leads into a couple hundred acres of pine.
Right
Could be. And we've got Got this section back in here, which is also very nice cover.
Daddy, that's really nice where we could put the cameras because that's kind of like a hideout. Daddy, don't touch that tree. Porcupine tree.
Got poison ivy on it. Okay, Benjamin, I need you to hold these cameras. Daddy's gonna put our, and don't let anything touch the ground because there's a lot of poison ivy. Daddy's gonna put our best camera on this tree. Trying to figure out how to do this so that I'm not in the poison ivy. We may have to come back here with Daddy's machete, clear some of this. I'd like to put a camera back in those woods, maybe two, because I want to see what's coming onto our property.
Yeah, because I can see a little hole right there. Because that should be where they're coming from, right?
Yeah, and we definitely need to utilize this tree for a camera shooting along this line. Because the
log that's far from getting it into our property.
Coyotes like to run along the bridges, and it looks like there are little trails back in there where they've. I am not
like mountains.
Seeing a lot of signs of deer laying down back here, which may indicate that this isn't a good area for deer at the moment. Oh, now that's interesting.
What's interesting?
Pathways that go through here. But they all come back through this.
Okay. Daddy, need your help.
This tree right here.
I hope I don't die over here. Because there's two pathways. What?
That tree could be a very good one. I'm going to point it into that opening because that's where
all the coyotes.
Well, I see a lot of trails going through there. I'm thinking it's probably more trails of deer. But I've also seen bear scat back here, so.
Bear what?
And with the ground as dry and hard as it is, it's hard to see any tracks. There appears to be a common pathway right through there. Let's see it.
So should we go over there?
Well, I've tried putting cameras back in here and I haven't had a whole lot of success.
Because we could just put it on that tree right there. That tree.
And point it into here?
And point it. No, we could put it in there. That's a great taste to point it. Because we point it already over here, then there's a camera right there. That.
I'll tell you what, let's go up here because I know that I have seen fresh signs of activity up here. There's something.
Where is it?
Right here. You can't see the footprint, but you can tell that something's been through here. We want to make sure we're not tracking the common dog. What Daddy's looking for are areas where things have been broken down from animals coming through on a regular basis. Or little footprints in the ground. There's some deer scat, or some sort of scat down there.
I see.
See little poo-poos?
Oh yeah.
It looks a little small for deer. Some sort of scat there. And if you look this area. Looks like something's been trampling around down in there. Curious what we would see. Daddy's going to set up a camera on one of these trees along here to see what's kind of creeping up in the woods here, because this looks like it's a high traffic area for a lot of different animals.
They're killing our animals.
Yeah. So, what I'm gonna do, stay back because there's poison ivy in here.
But I stepped in poison ivy. Daddy, the camera can't see you. Daddy, the camera can't see you.
So we put this camera in here because this area has a lot of trampling going on.
Where's the camera?
It's right here on the tree, Ben. And I've seen coyotes come out of these bushes here and run along this edge. And you can see where there's some trails in there where animals have pushed some of the things down and head out that way. Coyotes don't generally just run straight across, and most predators like bobcats, they won't run straight across the wide opening like that unless the food is sitting right out in the center ready to be taken. So this camera back here is going to help us monitor this zone, which looks as though it is a hiding zone. It's a good spot. We'll get our machete and chop off some of those branches. We're going to put a camera right out. We're going to put a camera right out there on that tree there. But again, there's too many branches, so I need to grab a machete and clear it. And I'm going to probably take that camera, angle it going more this way so that I can get a better viewpoint on that pile back in there. Here I'm not too concerned about. There's a lot of deer tracks and stuff, but further down as you get close to the house, there appear to be some more coyote tracks. So, but right in here there's just some laid down grass where the deer have been laying down. Not too concerned about those. So we'll grab the machete, and then Daddy's got one more to put up, Benjamin. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know where you should put it. Maybe at the beginning where they come and get.
Benjamin, do you see how the grass over here is kind of, looks like it's been trampled down? That's where deers are laying at night.
We should put it over there so it...
We're not too worried about the deer. Stay tuned, and in our upcoming videos of trail cams and wildlife management, we'll be going over how to identify different animals on your trail cam, as well as we'll show you some of the animals that we have found on our property and the locations in which these animals seem to frequent.